Mine was turned off also.
Okay. The April 10th, 2024 meeting of Municipal Code Board is called to order. If everybody would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. If everybody would please put their phone on silent or turn it off, that'd be appreciated. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is charged with conducting hearings to determine whether an alleged violation of the city code has occurred. Decisions made by this quasi-judicial board will be based on the evidence and facts presented this evening. Our meetings are conducted in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order, and each case will begin with the city presenting its evidence of the alleged violation. The respondent will then present his or her case. Both parties will have an opportunity to cross-examine all witnesses. The board members may ask questions of any witness. Comments by both parties must be relevant to the case. Persons wishing to speak will give an opportunity to do so by the chair and must address the board from the podium after giving their name and address. Upon request, copies of materials submitted by staff are available for review. Board members are reminded to obtain permission to speak from the chair, and questions of the city should be directed to the attorney for the city. At this time, I'd like to ask all persons who expect to give testimony tonight to stand and be sworn in by the city clerk.
If everybody could just stand. If you're gonna speak, I need you to stand.
If you're gonna speak from the podium, you need to stand and raise your and be sworn in.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony or evidence you are about to give or present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. This time I'll ask, okay, we did that. As per usual, we will be taking cases out of order tonight. I'll give you the order. The first case will be 24-1006. Number 2 will be 24-1178. Number 3 will be under old business, 235221. Number 4 will be 241046. Oh no, wait, actually that one. Okay, let's. That one we're not going to be hearing that one tonight,
No, yeah, we will.
right? We can't.
We got Rod.
Okay, yes. Okay.
Yep.
All right, we will be hearing. Never mind.
You didn't have to.
So anyway, that would be number 4 would be 24-1046. Number 5, 24-0188. And number 6 will be 240767. And then we'll go back and finish all the ones we didn't already do. Okay? Okay, next will be ex parte communications. This time I'll ask all board members if they've had any ex parte communications regarding any matters coming before the Code Enforcement Board this evening. If you've had verbal communications, please disclose the sum and substance of the communications, when and where the communications occurred, and with whom it occurred. If you've received any written communications, please disclose the nature of the communications provided to the city clerk to be filed in the record. Starting with you, Juan. Ex parte.
I've had none.
I've had none.
I've had none.
I have none, but I want to say I will be recusing myself from case 241046, just because I have a friendship with someone who's in the audience, and just for perception's sake, I don't want there to be any sort of bias on the board.
Okay, very good. Noted. All right. With that, meeting minutes. Everybody's had a chance to look at the minutes held on March 13, 2024. If there are no additions, edits, or corrections, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Okay, on to the hearings. Our first one again is case number 24-1006.
Case 24-1006, City versus Gonzalo Lopez Fernandez and Sofia Puentes for the property located at 302 Shadow Lane. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 8-28A1, permit application required. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated from Community Development on March the 6th, 2024, requesting a notice of violation to be prepared referencing the open stop work order for installation of a roof without a permit at the location. A notice of violation was prepared that same day with the reinspection date of the 21st of March 2024. Affidavit of service was obtained by hand delivery to Janetta Rivera, a friend of the family's, at the residence. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violation taken by me on March the 6th, 2024, and a copy of the stop work order in Central Square.
We'll accept that, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Exhibit number 1 shows new roof installation. Exhibit number 2 shows the stop work order in Central Square. As today's date, the site is not in compliance, and I am seeking a ruling.
Thank you. Any questions for the code officer?
Was the work completed?
Yes, sir, it has been completed.
So the stop work order was, yeah.
It's still on the property, sir. It hasn't been resolved.
Yeah, okay, got you.
They have to get a permit to get,
Still gotta get the permit to get.
Not yet. The system shows still, it's just a stop work order. It hasn't been acquired.
very good. Any other questions?
There was a contractor, a roof contractor?
Sir, I don't know who was involved. Again, I was contacted by community development and prepared the notice of violation, so I'm not sure really as far as the contractor who did it. I just know that it was done.
Okay. The respondent is here.
Yes, sir.
Would the respondent like to approach? And do we have anybody that can interpret?
I can.
You can?
Or maybe Mr. Gilly.
Spanish.
Okay, we're going to have to swear you in separately as an interpreter.
Hola.
Thank you.
Raise your right hand.
I'm just going to swear you in as an interpreter. Do you hereby swear or affirm the translation you will make from Spanish to English and English to Spanish will be true and accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Tell him the floor is his.
Ok, puedes hablar.
Sobre la propiedad, yo saqué un permiso hace como un año o dos para renovar
He
el
got a permit a year or two to renew the roof.
completo, pero en la parte de atrás, que es un capó, como un portal, como le decimos,
Completely, the whole completely, the roof completely.
se reparó completo la otra parte y me quedó la parte de atrás, el capó. Entonces,
So the back part from the roof, it was left out of the permit.
yo no tenía idea, yo me puse y hice de atrás porque lo hice por encima.
He did it himself. He repaired the back part of it without knowing that he needed a permit.
Yo siempre he pedido sacado permiso, para sacar permiso para el techo, para varias cosas que he hecho.
He always knew that he had to ask for permit for do the roof and everything else that he had to renew.
Yo siempre, por lo menos, he hecho todo el permiso aquí y pensé que como había sacado el permiso hace como 2 años, dije, no, lo puedo
He
hacer.
thought that since he got the permit 2 years ago, he could have done it himself, the rest of it.
Entonces lo hice nuevo, pero contraté los que hacen el techo, los mismos que me hicieron el otro techo.
He paid the same guys that they did the front of the roof to do the back of it, the rest of it. And he thought that since he got the permit 2 years ago, it would be still good.
Y vino el inspector, entonces me dijo eso y me dijo que tenía que traer un plano.
So the inspector came to his house and asked him that he needs to brought a plan, a design from architecture.
Yo hablé con un señor, una amistad que habla inglés, porque
He talked to a guy that is one of his friends.
me dieron un número de teléfono, yo llamé y llamé para que me dieran un tiempo para hacer el plano.
And then he called so he can have some extra time, so he can get a architecture to design the plans and all that.
Yo llamé, entonces he venido varias veces aquí, bueno, me dijeron tienes que lo mismo, que he tenido que hacer.
He came over here a few times and tried to explain to them the situation, and they keep saying to him the same thing, that he needs to present the plans and all the paperwork that is required.
Ya yo tengo mi plano, ando con él en mi carro y todo, y vine hoy aquí, hablé con ellos, me dieron
He
varios
had
papeles.
his plans in his car, and he came today and he talked to the city
Yeah,
here, and
me dieron los papeles para llenarlo,
and they
porque
gave him
trajera
some
todo eso.
paperwork that he needs to fill it out.
Ya eso es todo y tengo el plano para hacerlo. Es para
have-
rectificar los códigos que me dieron que estaban mal.
So tell him what's going to happen next is there will be a ruling as to whether or not he's in violation. If he is found in violation, he will have probably 30 days, right? 30 days to bring the property into compliance, which means he has to get the permit. That means he'll have to, whatever paperwork they gave him, he'll have to fill out and bring back and do that as fast as he can so they can get a review and get the permit within 30
So
days.
you guys will give him 30 days so he can present everything?
Typically, that's what we give them, yeah. No
Okay,
guarantee,
so-
but it's up to them. Yes, sir.
I might have missed it. Did we get the name?
Yeah,
Did anyone say?
Oh, no. Could
¿Cómo
have him
se
state
llama?
that, yeah, thank you, Ernie.
Gonzalo López,
Gonzalo Lopez.
And his address.
¿En tu dirección?
302 Sharon Lane,
302 Sharon Lane,
Temple Terrace.
Temple Terrace.
Thank you. Thank you, Ernie.
So, ellos te van a dar 30 días para que presente los planos a la ciudad y llene todo lo que tengas que llenar para poderlo poner en regla.
Sí, ya lo tengo todo, nada más fue hoy que me entregaron el plano.
It was today that he received all
Me dieron los papeles para
from the
llenar.
architecture. Ya te puedes sentar.
Okay.
Oh, you don't go too far, though, okay? All right, gentlemen. Any other questions for the respondent?
So my question was, is he the resident? But
Yes.
he said
See,
the address is,
yes.
is the resident.
Okay. If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion. You look perplexed, Bill. You have a question?
Yeah, no, I just, little, I just wanted to ask the guy, I assume the work is complete.
Work is complete.
Completed.
It's
I
just
still
a-
was a little confused on how this all transpired, that he had a permit pulled to do work on the front of the roof, apparently.
That's what he says.
And then he
Yeah, 2 years
he thought
ago.
it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
How long ago is our permits stay?
6 months.
I think, so.
Is he aware of that?
I was gonna say that.
Apparently not. It doesn't matter.
But that would be for
Yeah.
code.
I was also a little confused about, I thought roof repair, you didn't need an architecture.
But roof replacement,
It's not a repair, it's a replacement.
Okay, I mean,
He changed sheets and
did he, okay.
trusses.
but that's also something for code to discuss with him.
Yeah.
With
Okay.
paperwork, right?
Okay,
That's not
so,
necessary for us.
Okay, so,
One more question. Did you take any photos
¿Tomaste alguna foto?
Sí, aquí la-
during the process?
Yes, he have it in his phone.
You know, so that would help you with the permit, you know.
Tiene foto.
Sí.
He have it in his phone.
okay. We don't need to see him, it's okay.
No la necesitan ver, está bien.
Ah, ya.
Okay, if there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
In case number 24-1006, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 302 Shadow Lane, with the applicable code violation, Section 8-28, subsection A, subsection 1, permit application is required. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, Lori Smith, along with any other evidence, and including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation, of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the violation be corrected on or before, we're on May 8th, 2024. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violations, any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? And just for your benefit, Bill, and even if you did the work yourself, you still have to get a permit.
Yes.
I get the permit, but I just didn't realize there was architectural design or an
It-
architect.
Well, it's not, I mean, that's a little, all it is a plan of the drawing of the home. It's a floor plan of the drawing showing the numbers.
What
But you have to hire somebody to prepare that for you?
Yeah.
I guess.
Unless you have a license for it.
Unless you have a licensed contractor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Ernie has a,
Yes, sir.
You guys are talking about this case and, have making comments about the case, and the gentleman may or may not understand that. We may want to brief him real quick on what you've been talking about. At least-
Well, I was gonna do it after the vote.
Well, I was just talking about all this discussion here. I just want to make sure he's either following it and understands it. I don't want him to be in the dark as you're talking
Okay.
about this.
that's fair.
So just tell him that we were discussing the need for the permit. that's all.
So, ellos están discutiendo las cosas del permiso tuyo.
And then,
Sí, ellos están tratando de decidir lo del permiso de la parte de atrás.
Ya, eso es lo mismo, lo que es por encima, ¿no?
And everything.
yeah, well, I'll let it, after we vote.
David, also we have a Spanish speaker on the board. Would
That's fine, that's fine. We already swore her in. Thank you, though. Okay, so, we have a motion, we have a second, there's no further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. So, why don't you come on up to the dais? Because you're gonna have to explain to him. So he has been found in violation, let him know that.
So, he was what?
Found in violation,
Te encontraron in violation. I don't know how to say that word in
yeah,
Spanish.
so he has until May 8th, 2024
Tienes hasta mayo 8 del 2024.
to get the roof permit and pay for it.
So, para que cojas el permiso del techo y lo pagues.
Ya.
If he doesn't get the permit by May 4th, by
Si
May
no-
8th rather,
Si no coges el permiso para mayo 8 del 2024,
it's a $25 per day fine.
so te van a poner una multa de $25 por día.
Okay, if there's extenuating circumstances that prevent him from getting the permit by May 8th, he can come
Si hay
back to
alguna
us.
circunstancia que no te permita coger el permiso para mayo 8,
He can come back to us and request an extension.
puedes venir para atrás con ellos y pedir una extensión.
Ya.
There's no guarantee he will get the extension, but he's
No hay
welcome to ask.
garantía que la puedas coger, pero puedes tratar.
No, no, antes.
So the suggestion is to fill the paperwork out
Él te
immediately
sugiere que lo llenes lo más rápido posible
and get it back down to the city.
y que lo traigas a la ciudad.
Ya.
And please ask him if he understood all that.
¿Entendiste todo lo que te dijo?
And his
Yes.
reply was yes?
Yes.
Okay. Ernie, are you satisfied?
Yeah, just one other question. Could you ask him if he's understood everything that's happened here? So-
¿Entiendes todo lo que está pasando aquí en la corte hoy?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, no questions?
¿Tienes alguna pregunta?
No, tengo que resolver eso.
He had to resolve everything.
Okay, very good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Also, let him know that he can stay or go now if he wants. He doesn't have to stay for the rest of it.
So, si tú
Yeah.
quieres, te puedes quedar para el resto de los demás casos y no te puedes ir.
Yeah, and he'll be getting the order that we just talked about here, he'll be getting a copy in the mail.
Ok, so todo lo que se habló aquí te van a dar una copia al correo, te va a llegar de tu casa.
But tell him, don't wait for the order, get the paperwork down
No
here.
espere por la orden, trata de traer todos los papeles lo más rápido posible. He have everything in his car.
We're good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, next case.
It's going to be case number 24-1178, City versus Amar El-Jabali and Ryan El-Jabali for the property located at 7460 Terrace River Drive. The case is before the board based on an alleged repeat violation of Section 12-860 ANOPS outdoor storage equipment. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Co-Compliance. This case this evening is a repeat of a repeat violation case, which was first presented by Officer Silva at the MCEB hearing on the 8th of July, 2020, in case number 20-0190. The board found the respondent to be in violation, but the property was brought into compliance and no fines were assessed. On January 13th, 2021, in repeat case number 205675, Officer Silva presented the board, the board found the respondent to be in violation and a fine of $50 per day times 15 days out of compliance was imposed on and paid for by the resident. On Monday, the 12th of February, 2024, Director Baroni, while on inspections of the zone, observed an inoperative vehicle with no tag on the driveway. That same day, I prepared a notice of a repeat violation for the inoperative vehicle with no tag on the driveway. Affidavit of service was obtained by hand delivery to homeowner Ryan El-Jabali. Moving forward, I monitored the location, did not see any inoperative vehicles for several weeks, and I closed the case. On Tuesday, March the 19th, 2024, once again, I observed an inoperative vehicle with no tag parked stored on the driveway of the residence. On Friday, the 22nd of March, 2024, I posted the notice of a repeat violation at the front door of the property and requested copies be mailed certified in first-class mail to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. At this time, I would like to submit both order of findings in MCEB case number 20-0190 and repeat case 20-5675. Also, photographic evidence of the violation taken by me on February the 12th, March the 19th, and 22nd, 2024, showing the violations.
We'll accept those.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
In that testimony, in the first case, did you say there was no fine?
No, there wasn't on the very, very first one.
There was a $3,100 in case number 20-190.
Okay. Well, I don't think according to the order that I saw.
Well, this is what the clerk gave me, so that's what, there was a fine in the first case.
There was one for 3,000, you said?
$3,100. That's would be case number 20-0190.
Okay. So there was a fine of 3,100 on 200190 and 50 times 15, whatever that comes out to be, for 205675.
750.
Why don't we submit that?
Was the first, just curious, the first fine, was that paid also, the $3,100 something?
Exhibit number 1 shows the inoperative vehicle with no tag parked stored on the driveway. Exhibit number 2 shows the notice of a repeat violation notice letter posted at the front door. Exhibit number 3 and number 4 shows the inoperative vehicle parked stored on the driveway, the residence with no tag. As of today's date, the site is now in compliance. I would like to submit an affidavit of compliance. However, I am seeking a ruling for the 3 days the property remained out of compliance. City's recommendation is $100 per day. 3 days out of compliance, $300. May I submit, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. The respondent here. State your name and address for the record, please.
Mar El Jabali, 7460 Terrace River Drive, Temple Terrace.
Floor is yours.
How you doing? So they keep saying inop, but none of the vehicles are inoperative. Like I have a dealer, so I don't try not to leave the dealer tag on them because they snatch them in that area. But all the vehicles, I can move them at any time.
Well, they're considered inoperative if they don't have a tag on them.
Oh, okay. So I thought inop like as in...
Go ahead, Ernie.
And that is because they cannot operate legally.
Correct. But what happens is I just remove the tag and it's like I could just put it right back on.
So
That's
you're
why.
basically turning it in, making it inoperable when you do.
Correct.
When you remove the tag, it becomes an inoperative vehicle.
Okay.
Because you can't legally operate it without the tag.
Okay.
So,
So I can start putting tags. That's not a problem.
well, and Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, but if he bought himself a cover and put,
That would be fine.
yeah, so what you could, the alternative is, if you want to take the tag off to protect the tag, you can buy a car cover and cover the vehicle up until you put the tag back on.
Yeah, it's what it is. I just take them off at like the day, and then when I go back in the car, I just put it right back on it.
That's what I'm saying. So you have two alternatives. Leave the tag on it
That's all I'll start doing. That's fine.
or buy a car cover.
That's fine.
And it's probably more pain to take the car cover on and off than it is but that's your two alternatives.
No problem.
Okay? Do you have any questions for us? Okay, any questions for the respondent? Go ahead.
It's just, he mentioned he's a dealer, he can put a temporary tag.
That's what he said, he does. He puts a dealer tag on, but people take them, he said.
Because they're magnetic tags. You just put the magnet on. They just grab it.
Paper tag, they don't take that.
No, the metal. I have a metal dealer.
He's got a metal dealer tag. Not happy with you, Rod. So anyway, those are your two alternatives.
No problem.
Or screw the tag on. I mean, that's, okay, whatever. All right, any questions for us?
No problem.
Any more questions for the respondent? Thank you, sir. You can have a seat. If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
All right, I guess I'll do this one.
I'm ready.
Okay. Time to repeat violation. Okay, here we go. In case number 24-1178, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 7460 Terrace River Drive, and the code violation is section 12-860. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer Lori Smith, along with Mr. Jabali, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the respondent be found as a repeat violator as defined by the City Code Section 1-63 because the respondent has been found to have violated the same provision of the City Code within the previous 5 years, regardless of property address. I further move that not a daily fine, but a one-time fine be assessed for the repeat violations from the time for the 3 days that the property was out of compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be a total of $300, $100 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion is second. Any further discussion?
I feel like it's too high. I don't know. Too high per day. The tag, how much is the tag?
But it's a repeat of a repeat of a repeat.
Repeat. It's the third violation this guy.
It seems like the gentleman did not know.
But there's a lot of communication, and that's my take on it, is there's a lot of communication between code enforcement and the respondent. And again, it's a repeat of a repeat. And I added it up. I'm like, he's paid a lot of fines.
He's paid $3,100 in 2020 and $2,250 in 2021.
If I could say something, I didn't even know about the first two. I just had to pay them because I sold the property, and the sale couldn't go through until I paid the code violations.
Yeah.
That's the reason I paid them. I never even knew I had those violations. I just paid those violations.
If you come on up to the.
I just paid those violations maybe like a month ago. I wasn't even aware of them.
You were aware when you paid them.
Which is like a month ago, yeah.
Okay, so it's
When I sold the property, I had no idea I had these violations or anything.
Thank you.
If I could just add, he requested a lien reduction, and he got a lien reduction out of that money
Correct.
he owed.
Okay.
City received
1,600, I believe.
1,600,
For
whatever's on that form.
well, okay.
So he did get.
Yeah, I just,
Okay.
correct.
Thank you. Okay. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Hey.
So we have 1, 2, motion carries. So you've been found in violation, you have a $300 fine. And if it happens again within the next 5 years, as a repeat of a repeat, the fines go up. So you've been told what your options are, and just please,
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
okay, have a good day, sorry. Next case, please. Yeah, Rod and Brian were nays. Next case.
Yes, so we're going to go to unfinished. It's going to be case 235221, City versus Matthew R. Moran. For the property located at 409 Bullard Parkway, the deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight.
Okay. Floor is, name and address, please.
Yes, my name is Matthew Moran. The address pertaining is 409 Bullard Parkway. And I guess I could talk about earthquakes and eclipses as I stand here before you, and it's more like a Groundhog's Day movie. That not much has changed from the last time I was here. When I was last here, the permits had been granted, the construction permits had been granted. And I was having trouble having the power turned on to facilitate the construction project. A tree had fallen on the power line, and it affected the between the meter, the storm had been also snapped when that tree hit, and that's homeowner's responsibility. That had already, when I stood before you last, had been resolved. So that had already been done and had been inspected by Temple Terrace Building Inspection. as I stood before you last. As I stand before you now, not much has changed, but I can say that I spoke with Tico. There's not anything Temple Terrace could have done to have expedited this. And in speaking with Ryan, who is with Tico, that I spoke with a few hours ago, that originally there was some obstacles, and I took care of those within the first few days after meeting with you last. Between the power, the line, which is sitting on the neighbor's property, and to get that line clear. And so I cleared out whatever was on my side of the property. There were some obstacles on the neighbor's side of the property. The neighbors have a large dog. And so I guess Tico has had to bring in a smaller than their normal size. And so they've had trouble getting access to the neighbor's property. They've been on my property numerous times. It's all been cleared. But at this point, there has been still no power turned on at the property. And speaking with him, he tells this individual, Ryan, who's orchestrating Tico's responsibility with this property, that he's going to call me tomorrow, and that at some point next week, and he'll know tomorrow what day that will be, and he's asking me to coordinate it with the neighbors to have the neighbor's dog put in at the point when they're installing this line. So I'm going to find out at some point tomorrow when they're going to be out next week definitively to have this line put on, which the contractor is ready to go. And it's been ready to go from that you met originally at the point that one night so long ago.
For code enforcement, somebody bring me up to speed here. This is not a permit issue, right? This is.
Permits have been granted.
Hang on.
So this is an interior damage, the back room, exterior, the roof line, the beams, and the ceiling dropped out of the ceiling, the drywall. So there's interior damage and then structural.
Microphones.
Somebody's microphone's not on.
So it's structural damage and drywall damage.
So, but to come into compliance, the work needs to be done, or?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And he has 6 months from when the permits are granted, correct?
They've already been granted already.
Yeah, so he's got the permits, he just got to do the work.
Permits were
Okay,
granted.
so,
Permits were granted before last month.
I understand, hang on a second. Just answer the questions that are asked, okay? Thank you. Has your contractor talked to you about possibly bringing in generators instead of, if there's no power?
Well, it should be on at the beginning of next week, and it would
Should have
be.
been on last month.
It should have been.
Okay.
And it's purely been waiting on that process.
Okay.
I mean, it would be difficult, I would think, for him to do it without he's gonna have to do a lot of removal of the existing roof in order to get the pitch. And I would think that's gonna require a considerable amount of current. So, but, I mean, if it would have expedited it much from this point to get,
Does the city have any,
No, the tree that collapsed in the rear yard, he has no control over that.
Okay.
So I don't have a problem with giving 30 more days.
okay. Anything else you want to say?
no, I mean, I apologize and I appreciate your patience with the matter. I mean, I'm wanting this to move as fast as possible. I'm waiting on the income. It's been a long time since I've had the income, and I'm needing it. So I want this done as quickly as possible.
Questions for the respondent? Thank you, sir. You can have a seat.
Okay, thank you.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion. And the motion is simple, it's just whether or not to grant him an extension to our next meeting.
In case number 23-5221, I move that the city extend the deadline one more month till May 8th, 2024.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no nays? So you've been granted an extension until May 8th, good luck.
Authentically grateful for your patience.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
Next case?
Thank you.
Okay. Next case is going to be case 24-1046, City versus Christy Ann Reeves, for the property located at
Hang on a second. You said my number 4 is 12-859.
1046.
Oh, that's a violation. Never mind. Okay, you're right. I'm sorry. My apologies.
Okay.
We're good?
Yep, we're good.
We're
Start
good.
over.
One Brian just needs to.
Okay, so it's going to be 24-1046, City versus Christy Ann Reeves, for the property located at 11309 Lynn Banks Place. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-8593, RVs, boats, and trailers, non-commercial. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Director Tom Baroni. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Very good. Thank you.
Good evening, Tom Baroni, Code Compliance. This case this evening originated on March 8th, 2024, from a neighbor complaint that the neighbor's truck and trailer parked in the street is blocking her driveway. That same day, I drove out to the location and noted a trailer and a truck parked in the street. Later that morning, I texted the property owner to advise her of the city ordinance on the trailer storage. She stated that she worked late that evening and she just kept it overnight. A few days later, I received additional complaints from 2 of the neighbors about the trailer. I sent another text message over to her to get an update on the trailer. I advised her that the trailer issue continues. I will prepare a notice of violation against her. It appears that this was a neighbor dispute, and the Temple Terrace police have been called out to this location 5 or 6 times. On the 19th of March, the trailer again was observed again parked in the street. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared by me with the compliance date of March 21st, 2024. I hand-delivered the notice letter to Christy Reeves on that same day. My inspection on the 21st and the 22nd of March noted that the trailer was parked in the street, unscreened from view. Therefore, a notice of hearing was prepared. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence that was taken by me on March 21st, March 22nd, and April 5th as well, 2024, of the trailer parked in the street.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
Thank you. As of today's date, the trailer has not been observed, therefore the property is now in compliance. I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance for the
Certainly
case.
accept that. Thank you.
So there's some complainants here, neighbors, and then the respondents here as well.
Okay.
Who would you like to speak to first?
Let's hear the complaints first, and then we'll hear the respondents so they can address the complainants.
Okay, okay. You guys want to come up?
Name and address, and you're the complainant or you're a respondent?
Complainant.
Okay. Name and address.
Ryan Guessman, 11306 Lynn Banks. I just want to provide the photos for the additional days that were out of violation, or in violation as well. They're all time-stamped, so it's been quite a few days since the initial instance, so.
Okay. I just want to show the respondent.
That's fine.
Okay. He's going to present these as evidence. So I just want everything to all agree.
Is there anything else you wanted to add, or you just wanted to have the pictures put in the record?
Just have the pictures put in the record and be available if you have any questions.
Thank you. Are there any other complainants? If not, does the respondent want to come up?
Yes.
Come up.
Name and address, please.
Christine Reeves, 11309 Lynn Banks Place.
Let me in the booth, did you get that? Okay, you got it. All right.
Okay, I'm a new business owner, so we do tree service. Sometimes we work late. I bring the trailer home. As you can see, those pictures are at nighttime. The other pictures are first thing in the morning when Tom has seen it, like 7, 8 o'clock. You know, this just is what it is. I mean, nobody else has complained. The 2 complainants are them, the parents and kids. They live across the street. I've been here 20 years. Never had a problem with neighbors before, but them. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
You know, I apologize. It is what it is. It's just, you know, but I have a neighbor on the street that has a dump trailer sitting there for the last, I don't know how long, at the end of the street. I have pictures if you'd like to see, I took yesterday, in a lift, and nobody complains about them, but I'm getting singled out trying to run a business. Oh, also, they made false complaints on Yelp about me, which I have those too, that were taken down, saying that I did work for them and my subdivision, doesn't want to work with me, which is not the case. But if you would like to see that as evidence? Okay.
It's not pertinent to this particular case. Ernie?
But just if you do have a complaint about the other, then you have photos of it, Tom.
Yeah.
I know what she's talking.
Yeah, I spoke with Tom about it. They're just, I don't know, I don't talk to them. I don't know what to say. It's only at nighttime, it's not during the day. A couple times during the day, I was doing work at my own house. So,
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So your neighbors live
Across the street.
They live directly across the street from you? So then, okay.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure. Yes, you can.
Yeah, there's no other place you can store the,
I do, it's in Land O'Lakes, but sometimes when it's late, we're coming home, to drive over there, it's like, and dump it, it would take us like an hour and a half. I mean, these pictures are late, it's at night, it's not there during the day, we're working, it's just, it is a few days, and it's been a little bit more lately, because we've been really busy working really late, so that's why it's been there.
only spot is against their driveway, is that,
They can pull out just fine. I'm in the street, they've called the cops have done nothing. We are parked the correct direction, it's like parking in the street.
You're parked on your side of the street. She's not on the other.
Nope, yeah, I'm on my side of the street.
just but across from their driveway?
Yes,
Sometimes,
But they can pull out just fine, everybody goes by and,
Room enough in the driveway to park?
Um,
Can't do that.
Do that?
yeah.
Well, you can't,
It has to be screened from view.
yeah, but my point is, if she's gonna park illegally, park in the driveway.
Okay, I gotcha, yep, I gotcha.
And then at least they could get their car out of their driveway.
Right,
Both of them are illegal because you can't park where you're
Right.
parking anyway. So I get it, she can't do that, but that would be a better solution.
Better
than blocking
option.
somebody's driveway.
they're gonna call on me anyways, so either way I go, I'm gonna
Yes,
get a
sir.
call.
But I would assume in no way, shape, or form is anyone from the board.
No, we're not suggesting that you should do that. Both, no matter where you park is illegal.
Right, no, I understand.
I have a question for Tom.
Go ahead.
Tom, what's her other alternatives? Is that, as it's code enforcement?
What can she do?
Yeah.
She has to find a place that she could store it away from the property, or it's a huge trailer, so she would have to put it on the side or the rear yard of the property, and she has no place to pull it into the side yard. So there's no way she could keep it at our property.
I'm not familiar with the site,
She
but,
doesn't have the room.
She cannot leave it at the rec center? No, I'm just kidding.
Or find it, I guess, maybe find some place that's not Land O'Lakes. I mean,
Yeah, well, right now, that's kind of where we're at. So, I mean, like I said, it's not that often, and it has been, and I know Tom, I've not had problems with him. I know Lori, we don't have problems. And like I said, I've been here 20 years, none of my other neighbors are complaining. It's just when he says two, it's those two,
And just to reiterate, this board is not condoning.
Right.
Park illegally anywhere.
Yes.
Just get that on the record. All right, if there's no other questions?
Do you have any plans to do anything differently? I mean.
Yes, I
you
do,
really don't-
and I'm looking for a spot. But like I said, it's not all the time, and it's randomly. You can look at the dates. It's been like 5 or 6 times. So, it's not like it's all the time. It's not like it's every day. It's just literally when we work late, so. It's hard.
The code is the code,
Yes.
and even if it's one occasion, you're still in violation.
Yes.
Whether it's 3 days, 5 days, 1 day, she's still in violation.
Understood.
And we have to be fair and consistent.
Okay, so why does the neighbor have their dump trailer there? Would you like to see pictures? Because that's not fair and
Not
consistent.
in the street, that's my
But
concern.
it's in front of their house, so it's right there in view.
Hang on, this is
Inside
not
yard.
the forum to be arguing about that. If you want to have a discussion afterwards between the two of you, go right ahead. But not-
sorry.
No, you're not going to do it here.
Apologize.
Okay? Any other questions?
One last question. You know, she's not a repeated violator.
Well, she's not, and,
No, not at this
and
time.
right now, she's in compliance, so,
She's in compliance.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just
I'm trying.
no the repeated violator.
Okay, if there's no other questions, you can have a seat. Thank you. And I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do it.
I can, so I guess this is a
Yeah, go do it.
compliance violation.
It's in compliance.
It's in compliance,
Yes,
so it's
yeah.
pretty straightforward, but
Okay.
anyway.
Go ahead.
Okay. So in case number 24-1046, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace Code did exist at the property located at 11309 Lynn Banks Place. The code violation was section 12-859, subsection 3. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Director Tom Baroni and Ms. Reeves, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that no fine be imposed because the violation was brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. So you have been found in violation. There is no fine because you brought the property into compliance before the date of this hearing. However, if the property goes back into non-compliance, it's considered a repeat violation. That repeat violation carries for the next, 5 years? 5 years. So if it's not in compliance over the next 5 years, it's considered a repeat violation, and the fines go up substantially from there. Okay? Thank you very much. Next case, please.
Next case is going to be case 24-0188, City versus Zadalin Marin, for the property located at 202 Mission Hills Avenue. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 10-3B, sanitation grass weeds, Section 10-34, sanitation keep premises clean, and Section 12-8592, RVs, boats, and trailers. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on January 16th, 2024 for debris in the yard, overgrown conditions, and an unscreened trailer. I left a door hanger with a reinspection date of January 19th, 2024. My reinspection on January 24th showed no change, so I generated a notice of violation on that date with a reinspection date of February 8th, 2024. Posted the notice at the front door, and a copy was posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed both regular and certified mail to the owner of record. My reinspection on March 19th showed no change, so I prepared a notice of hearing and scheduled the case for the April Municipal Code Board meeting. I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by me on January 24th and March 19th, 2024.
We'll accept that. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the notice of violation posting and debris on the front porch. Exhibit number 2 shows assorted debris in the front yard. Exhibit number 3 shows bagged debris in the front yard. Exhibit number 4 shows assorted debris in the front yard. Exhibit number 5 shows debris in the front yard. Exhibit number 6 shows debris on the front porch. Exhibit number 7 shows assorted debris on the left side of the residence and an unscreened trailer. And exhibit number 8 shows the overgrown conditions. This time, the site is not in compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling.
Thank you. Any questions for the code officer?
Is the house occupied? Is it someone living?
Yes, sir.
This is my house.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, any other questions for the code
Sorry if I
officer?
offended you.
Thank you, Doug.
Sure.
Did the respondent want to reply? Name and address for the record, please.
My name is Adalyn. I'm the owner of 202 Mission Hills.
Before you get started, thank you for interpreting.
You're welcome. So I have some photos. I don't know what they meant about this trailer, that they can see it from the street. The trailer is behind the fence and it's 5 foot away from it. I don't know how am I supposed to cover the
Do you wanna
trailer.
submit those into evidence?
Yes, sure. And I have more, those blocks that you saw in the front of it, I have 2 huskies. And they like to come out of the fence. The neighbor on the left side, she's allergic to dogs. So I put between the fence a whole bunch of blocks and pieces of wood so the dogs don't make a hole and jump into the neighbor's patio. Besides that, I clean up everything else. I don't know how much cleaner he want me to. The grass on the front, my husband measured is never more than 8 inches tall. So since I moved here, I've been receiving 400 letters. If I leave a bucket outside, you need to move the bucket. If I park on the grass, you're not allowed to park on the grass. So, I've been trying. The first time that I moved here, I changed the window and the door, and I didn't know that I need a permit, which I got it. I came here and I got all the permissions and everything. My husband works in the construction, so sometimes he brought stuff and we put it in the back patio. But I don't know how much cleaner he want me to clean this. I put it on the fence because the dogs like to dig a hole and jump into the neighbor's patio. Besides that, I don't know how much shorter he want me to cut the grass.
If you want to submit those into evidence, hand them over to Andy.
And I work, I leave at 6 a.m. and I come back home at 7. My husband as well. I'm a surgical tech. I work in the hospital. So, and I have 1, 2, and the other one is playing baseball. I have 3 kids and 1 coming. So I'm really busy all the time. So I get it. It's you guys' rule. We have to keep it clean. But, they're always speaking on me. The trailer, you cannot see it from the street, obviously. And it's 5 foot from my inside fence to the back. I moved the trailer. I don't know what he means that I need to cover the trailer. Cover it with what? What am I going to cover it with?
That's a discussion you should have with them, not us.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying,
Any questions for the respondent?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead.
So are the pictures that we saw, are those accurate as far as the bucket of water?
No, all that, I remove it.
There's more photos coming.
All that stuff's been resolved?
And I called him yesterday. And he went. And he's like, oh, you still have some other stuff that it needs to be taken care of. And I'm like, why other stuff? And he said about the trailer, that you can see it from the street. Obviously, you cannot see the trailer. There's a fence. And then behind the fence is a trailer 5 foot back. And the grass never reached more than 8 inches long. So, I don't know. My husband measured with the tape. Trust me. We get into that point that we measure it.
This is the trailer of concern.
Okay, that's the neighbor.
That's your neighbor's?
And we pick it up, all that.
Okay. So I think the officer thought that was your trailer,
Okay,
because that's the trailer that we see from the street.
okay, no problem.
Okay, but that's your neighbor's? Okay.
Is the neighbor's trailer on your property?
My property and his, we have like a spot in the middle.
Yeah.
And sometimes he will put some stuff there. And I do, so it's between of it.
Yeah, if you guys are okay with it, yeah.
It's right on the border.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But that's
So-
the trailer that we see.
Okay, so it's.
So, not the other one.
We need to revise the,
Well, no, they'll be out there tomorrow.
I was gonna say, that mean that we need to continue it?
no.
Thank you.
One of the violations could be eliminated.
Yeah, we could just remove this from the.
Yeah, that's fine.
Other one?
Yeah.
So, but just so you understand that if that's the case, you
I
need
need
to
to move
talk to your neighbor. and-
Yeah,
Okay?
so he can move it
Yeah,
around.
so I guess 12-859 subsection 2, we'll be taking that off? Okay. Okay, so because that's your neighbor's trailer, we're removing the section 12-859 subsection 2 RVs, boats and trailers from the list of non-compliance issues, okay?
Okay.
But if that's the case, Tom, there's still some other issues on the property that need to come to compliance?
Yeah, are any of the violations outside of that, the duty to keep premises clean, is that cleaned up?
Nope.
Okay, so you need to get a hold of Mr. Allen and have him meet you at your property, so you can go over your property, and then you can work something out.
Okay.
Okay? Do you have a business coming?
If there's no other questions, I'll
I have
enter,
one
go ahead.
question. In one of your photos,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed some kind of cylinder. What is this? I mean, I understand that you're putting some stuff to prevent the dog, and I know
Dig
small
it.
dogs do dig underneath the fence and go out. How big is your dogs?
Huskies.
Huskies? They dig? They can dig
Yeah.
underneath the...
They call me the dog department whatever like twice because they would like to jump and dig onto the left side that house. She's allergic to dogs. They can kill her. So I either have to put a whole bunch of stuff in there so they don't make a hole.
to be honest with you, I've seen some of your photos. It looks like a lot of debris. So it's, I'm even your own photo, it's just, it's,
Anything else you want to say, ma'am?
it's.
No.
Have a seat, thank you. If there's no other questions for the respondent, I'll entertain a motion.
It's in compliance right now?
No, it's
Not
No,
out of
no,
compliance?
the Section 12-859, subsection 2 is in compliance.
Okay, the
But,
trailer.
but Section 10-3B is not.
Okay, let me attempt that. You want me to
go
attempt
ahead.
that? You do it?
You can do it.
Yeah, okay. All right. In case number 24-0188, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 202 Mission Hills Avenue, with the applicable code violation, Section 10-3, subsection B, sanitation. The other
10-34.
and 10-3-4 sanitation. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, director, this is Lori?
No, it's Doug Allen.
Oh, it was Doug Allen. Okay, law enforcement officer, code enforcement officer Doug Allen, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the violation be corrected on or before May 8, 2024. If the respondent does not comply with the order on or before the day, they are ordered to pay a fine and for each and every day the violation continue past the date for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, any previous violations committed by the violator, I move the fine be $25 per day.
Okay. Jen, did you get all that? Are you good?
So I have.
I can have him reread it.
You want me to?
Yeah, why don't you reread it and just go, just reread it correctly and without us having to tell you what the violations are and everything, okay?
All right. In case number 24-0188, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 202 Mission Hills Avenue, with the applicable code violation, Section 10-3, subsection B, Section 10-3-4. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, Doug Allen, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the violation be corrected on or before May 8, 2024. If the respondent does not comply with the order on or before that date, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every violation past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. So you've been found in violation. You have until May 8th to bring the property into compliance. As suggested by Tom Barone, you need to make an appointment with the code officer so that you guys are both on the same page as what needs to be done to bring the property into compliance. If you cannot bring the property into compliance by our next meeting, May 8th, you're welcome to come back and ask for a continuance. There is no guarantee that you will get one, but you are welcome to ask for one, okay?
And the little trailer, yeah, he's saying that it's just his friend parked it in there, so it's not the neighbor.
Okay, well, whoever's it is, it needs to go. All right. Okay, any other questions for us?
No. I have a question, so I need to remove all the.
That's a question for the code officer. What you need to do is make an appointment for them to meet you out there. He'll walk the property with you and let you know exactly what needs to be done. Okay? Thank you. Next case, please.
Okay, case 24-0767, City versus Sahita Sultana, for the property located at 9619 North 55th Street. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-921, parking residential property. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by a neighborhood inspection on February 22nd, 2024 of cars parked on the grass. I went directly to a notice of violation on that date with a reinspection date of March 8th, 2024. I posted a copy of at the residence, and a copy was posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. My reinspection on March 21st showed no change, so a notice of hearings prepared on that date, and the case was scheduled for the April Municipal Code Board meeting. This time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by myself on March 22nd or February 22nd, March 26th.
We'll accept this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the posting of the notice of violation. Exhibit number 2 shows the 2 cars parked on the grass. Exhibit number 3 shows 1 car parked on the grass. The site is in compliance, and I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance, and I'm seeking the finding.
Accept that. Thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, is the respondent here? Come on up. State your name and address for the record.
Good evening. My name is Alyssa Kidwell, and I'm actually here for Zahida. Her and her family are in Bangladesh celebrating Eid because they're Muslim with the ending of Ramadan. So I'm here for them. I have an affidavit of authorized agent.
You have an authorized agent?
I do.
Okay, you want to submit that?
Absolutely. Can I also submit a photograph as well?
You can do that in a minute, but let's get that first, okay?
Do you need my address where I reside?
Yes, please.
I reside at 112 Oak Ridge Avenue here in Temple Terrace.
Okay, thank you. Floor is yours.
There's no denying that they were parking on the grass. We don't deny that at all. The family had a bunch of people in from out of town, from out of seas, visiting them for a long period of time. They were parking on the grass. The picture that I can provide shows that they are currently making steps to build a barrier there that will prohibit anyone from being able to even park in the grass. So they just haven't finished this project yet and won't be able to finish it until they get back in. I'll give you this. So they're aware. They're aware. They apologize. They're doing what they can to make sure it does not happen again.
Okay.
So. Okay. It's a different angle picture. I think that picture is taken from like the house area, but it's the same area.
Okay.
Just one question there.
Yes.
Is this a rental property?
It is not.
It's not?
No.
Very good.
No.
Thank you.
But they have a lot of people in and out. They have a lot of family that are in Bangladesh and England, so it's just constantly people in and out of there. So.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Okay. Anything else you want to say?
No, that's it.
You can have a seat. If you have any questions, we'll bring you back up, okay? Thank you. Any questions for the respondent? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I can do this one.
Thank you.
On case number 24-0767, I move the city is proven by a greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code did exist on the property located at 9619 North 55th Street. applicable code sections 12-921. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move there will be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. So the property has been found has been found in violation but in compliance, so there's no fine. However, if it happens again in the next 5 years, it's considered a repeat violation, and the fines go up from there. Okay? So, so just relay that to good luck. Thank you. Okay, so I guess we're going back to the beginning now, right?
One more
Yes.
case.
Yeah, the second one.
The second case is going to be case 240323, City versus Rafat Zahur and Rizwan Zahur for the property located at 106 Oak Ridge Avenue. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 10-34, Sanitation Keep Premises Clean. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening once again, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on January 24th, 2024 for assorted debris on the east and north side of the residence. I left a door hanger with a reinspection date of January 31st. My reinspection on February 21st showed no change, so I generated a notice of violation on that date with a reinspection date of February 29th. 2024. I posted the notice at the site as well as at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. My reinspection on March 15th showed no change, so I prepared a notice of hearing on that date, and the case was scheduled for the April Municipal Code Board meeting. This time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by myself on February 21st and March 15th, 2024. The site is in compliance, and I'd also like to submit an affidavit of compliance, and I'm seeking a finding.
We will happily accept all of that.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions for the code officer? Thank you, sir. Respondent is not here, I assume? Okay. If there's no respondents, I'll entertain a motion.
All right, I'll do it. Case number 24-0323. I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist at the property located at 106 Oak Ridge Avenue. Code violation, Section 10-34. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Doug Allen, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that no fine be imposed because the violation was brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. I think that's the end of our new cases on the unfinished business.
All right, so case number 233239, City versus Haley Bureau for the property located at 12917 Terrace Springs Drive. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. Case number 236170, City versus 5400 Bush Boulevard LLC for the property located at 5400 East Bush Boulevard. The deadline for compliance was March 13th, 2024. An affidavit of noncompliance was submitted March 14th, 2024. Case number 24-0154, City versus MUPR3 Assets LLC for the property located at 8602 Shirley Drive. The deadline for compliance is midnight. Case number 24-0466, City versus John P. Ziegler for the property located at 306 South Burlingame Avenue. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. Case number 24-0532, City versus Barrow Properties LLC for the property located at 8727 Beverly Drive. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. I do have some that are not on the agenda. Okay. So I have case number 223437, City versus Rod A. Hamill for the property located at 6125 East 110th Avenue. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Laura Smith for Section 828A1 dated March 26, 2024. The case is no longer accruing a lien. Case number 23-500164, City versus PPG DT Temple Terrace LLC for the property located at 8942 Bertha Palmer Boulevard. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Fire Inspector Cletus Squires for Section 8-56 dated March 25th, 2024. This case is no longer accruing a lien. Case number 23-3443, City versus Asbel Reyes and Maria Reyes for the property located at 829 East River Drive. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith for Section 8-10213C dated April 3rd, 2024. This case is no longer accruing a lien. And case number 23-5152, City versus Aldwin LLC for the property located at 405 Park Ridge Avenue. Payment of $1,850 was made on April 2nd, 2024, and this case is no longer on the liens list.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, any other board action?
I was just gonna ask if, do we have a new code enforcement officer?
We're going to take care of that under new,
Okay.
we're going to take care of that under new
Sorry.
business, under new business.
Sorry to steal your thunder.
Okay. Ernie, any updates on the liens report? Okay. New business.
Mr. Chairman, I have something to say.
Okay.
I'd like to introduce our new code inspector, Sean Robinson. Sean was appointed 2 weeks ago to the...
Microphone.
One day I'll figure this out.
Yeah.
So I'd like to introduce Sean Robinson as our new code inspector. Sean will be covering the north zone from White Way all the way up to Fletcher, from east to west.
Sean, why don't you come on up a minute?
Come on up, Sean.
He's like, oh, man.
Got a new shirt and everything, man. Would you just take one from
Jose.
Jose?
Right, well, Jose...
Jose used to be in the south zone.
Right.
So now Laurie Smith is covering the south zone.
Okay.
And Sean will be covering the north zone, so that's Laurie Smith's zone. So Sean has a very big zone.
Yeah, he
And,
does.
well, glad to see him on board.
Yeah. Where were you before here?
Retired 2 years ago from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, a
Oh,
law
did
enforcement
Well,
deputy.
thank you for your service.
Yep.
Great. Very good. Happy to have you on board.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Hopefully you won't have to chase the kangaroos.
We had,
There's a goat running around too, I think.
it's nice to mention, we had received 35 applications for that position.
Really? Wow.
So there was a lot of, good
35 applications, really?
Yeah, 35.
Wow.
So Sean was our finalist, and we're happy to have him on board.
So you said so how long were you with the Sheriff's Department?
29 years, 6
Wow.
months.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Thank you again for your service. That's great. Yeah, we have gators, we have goats, and we have kangaroos. So, very good. Any other new business? Go ahead.
One question to the, either to Tom or to the new code enforcement. Which sections you're covering?
The north end.
From White Way north to Fletcher.
White Way to Fletcher.
Okay.
So like Dairy Queen to Fletcher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in your zone.
Your zone.
I'm trying to see if he's my zone.
Yeah, he's your guy.
Your zone.
My guy, and your guy, yeah.
He's my guy.
No,
Yeah.
no.
He's also David's zone.
Chairman's got me, I got the chairman, Bill Snelling's
Yep.
mine.
That's what I'm trying to just confirm that.
Okay.
You got 3 of us in your zone.
My area? Okay.
So, make sure you leave out the donuts in the water and. Well, again, welcome aboard, and
Thank you.
if there's, we can't really talk to you too much, but if you have any questions, talk to Tom, and if he needs to talk to us, he will, so.
All right.
But again, thank you for your service, and thanks for coming on board.
Thank you.
Just curious, did you get bored, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good board. Yep.
Yep, well, we're happy you're here. Thank you. Any other new business? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion is second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries, thank you. Ernie, what time's your hearing tomorrow?
1:30.
1:30, okay.
See you guys.
See you.
Finish.
Next Temple Terrace.